name is Ikoya. I'm the creator and founder of Silky, a luxury hair care company, and I'm here today to share with you some wig hacks for styling your synthetic or human hair wig when it comes to dealing with the different textures. Now, most wigs come in two textures. It's either silky or yaki, and then wigs fall somewhere in between, but those are really the most popular styles and textures is silky or yaki, and then you'll get like the yaki straight or silky smooth. You know, there's different textures in between, but today I'm going to be giving you hacks and tips on styling silky and yaki wigs. Now, this is a two-part series, so the first video, which is this one, we are going to be talking about styling silky textured units, and then in the second video we'll be talking about styling yaki textured units. So I'm going to be giving you little tips and tricks that I use, that I do when I style my wigs. So for those of you who may not be familiar with what a silky textured wig is, a silky textured wig is a wig that has a more finer hair strand and tends to have a little bit of shine to it and a very sleek look. So that is a more silkier texture. Silky textures have come a long way, especially in synthetic wigs, but silky textures tend to not be as popular, especially in synthetic wigs, because the hair strands can almost give you baby doll hair or get really wiggy if you're not careful, because the strands are very thin. They tend to have a shine to them, and that shine really looks kind of phony and kind of fake. So with a silkier texture wig, you really have to be careful with styling and the color, and really go in and really manipulate it to have it look a little bit more realistic and less wiggy. But silky wigs can be very pretty, and I love a good silky wig. And silkier textures are now becoming a little bit better. The hair strands are getting a little bit thicker. The fibers are getting a little bit more of quality and premium. So you can still pull off a silky wig like this without it looking so fake and so phony. A lot of those cosplay style wigs or party city style wigs, Halloween style wigs tend to be on the silkier side, which makes it look very phony and wiggy. But there's some beautiful wigs out there, both human and synthetic, with silky textures. So we're gonna go ahead and get into these wig hacks to help you style it, to help it look a little bit more realistic, sleek, and beautiful. So when styling your wig, no matter whether it's human or synthetic, silky or yaki, you always have to go in and tint the lace if it doesn't match your skin tone and complexion, especially now with all these HD lace units coming out. So there's a ton of ways that you can do it. Whatever works best for you. You can go in with tint spray, you can go in with foundation, whatever foundation you use, concealer, eyeshadow, well, however and whatever it is that you like to use. I prefer the Ebin tint spray, and that is what I use, but you definitely can go in and use whatever type of powder, makeup, or spray to make sure that the wig lace is matching your complexion. And then you want to figure out if you're going to be gluing your wig down, what kind of adhesive you're gonna use. There's many adhesives out there. Ebin has a new spray that's really popular. There's the bedhead spray. And if you don't want to glue it down, you can always use your good old wig grip to help hold that wig in place and keep it where it needs to be. And so now we're gonna go ahead and get into the actual styling tips and things that I do when I style a silky style wig. So this first tip is you wanna use mousse or water when styling a silkier textured wig. Silkier textured wigs tend to have finer hair, and because the hair is finer, the strands are not as thick. So if you put something like a lotion or an oil on it, it really can weigh it down. So in order to style it and have it still have some body and some sleekness, without it being weighed down. It's great to use mousse, especially if it's synthetic, because mousse is water-based, and it's a great product to just style the wig. It helps to tame frizzes and frays, especially if it's a synthetic colored wig, and it also doesn't weigh the wig down. You just spray it into your hands and just rub it throughout the wig really, really well, especially around your face, so that you can pull all those frizzes and frays back into the wig, help the hair to get tame and laid down. And if you don't want to use mousse, you can also use water. Water works great with silky texture wigs on human and synthetic wigs as well, especially synthetic wigs, since they cannot absorb any oils or lotions because it is a plastic like human hair can. So just take a spray bottle, put some water in there, and lightly spray your wig. This works really great, especially when you're detangling and combing the wig out. Silky textures tend to tangle a lot, so mousse and water really, really help you as far as like detangling and styling these type of units. Tip number 2 is use dry shampoo to help knock out the shine. So part of the appeal of a silkier texture is sometimes it has a natural shine and like a sleekness. In order to get it straight, the process that you do to the hair to really, really give it that silky fine look. And so that can be really pretty, but if you're not careful, it also can come across extremely wiggy, especially if it's a synthetic wig. That shine can really show in those plastic fibers. So to help it look a little bit more realistic and to take away that shine, I know back in the day a lot of people used to say use powder or talcum powder, but with safety concerns concerning powder, I don't think that's the best route. The better route, in my opinion, is to use dry shampoo. Dry shampoo, you can get it at any local beauty supply, grocery store, online. And all you have to do is take it and spray it on the wig. It comes out white, so you just want to make sure that you rub it in if it's not a blonde wig. If it is a darker wig, you definitely want to use brunette dry shampoo. They do have brunette dry shampoo, and those are for darker colors. It just sprays out a little bit darker, so you don't have that white film being left on the wig. And you just want to make sure that you rub the dry shampoo all the way through, and this will help take that shine away to help the wig look a little bit more natural, more sleek, and look maybe more like you just got your hair pressed and put some heat into it, as opposed to shine and that wiggy fake look. Tip number 3 is you can darken up the roots. Now, this is true for silky wigs, especially synthetic wigs. Colored wigs are super duper popular right now. They're making a comeback. And when you are rocking a colored wig, if the roots aren't dark, sometimes it can be a telltale sign that it's a wig, especially if it's a synthetic wig, because the wigs tend to be a little bit more shiny. So a way you can get away from that, excuse me, is to get a silkier wig with darker roots like the wig that I am wearing now, or you can darken the roots yourself with either a Sharpie or makeup, whatever foundation or powder you use. You can use that to kind of darken up the roots. They also have root spray that you can go in and use. Root spray is really good. This works really well on a human hair wig if you want to darken up the roots on a unit to make it look a little bit more natural and like it's coming more out of your scalp instead of just placing a wig on. So that is something that you can do to help defeat that fake look that sometimes silkier textures can have. Darken up those roots, it'll go a long way. The next tip is using silicone spray to detangle. Silicone spray is a really great product to use on not just human hair wigs, but also on synthetic wigs. The silicone helps to coat the hair, especially on a synthetic wig, so that over time, as you're wearing the wig over and over and over and over and over again, it's not getting so worn down, and that special coating on the wig is coming off after each wear. So that helps to lock that in and seal it and keep it from getting so tangled and matted, because silkier hair tends to get really tangled and matted, in my opinion, a little bit more than a yakier texture, especially if it's really long. So you definitely want to invest in a nice silicone spray to use, especially if you wear a lot of silky synthetic style wigs. And the last tip is bring your boar brush with you when you go out. Now, when you are brushing out your wig, you definitely want to start off brushing from the ends or the tips up to the roots, and just take your time, silkier wigs can do a lot of shedding because of the fibers not always being the best quality, especially if it's a cheaper wig. So you just want to take your time. You can spray water on there, detangling spray like we were talking about if it's a human hair wig. The silicone spray is something that also works really well. And you just want to start at the bottom and work your way up to the top, putting the spray on there and then brushing it out slowly until you can get up into the roots. And also with silky textures, you want to use some heat to make sure that you're getting them that nice silky flat look. You can always use a hot comb, you can use a flat iron. Just make sure that you pay attention to what the manufacturer of the wig is saying that the temperature should be. And I always recommend don't go all the way to the highest. I always recommend start lower and then work your way up to the higher heat so that you don't have to worry about burning your wig, because a lot of people do burn their wigs, especially synthetic units, if your flat iron, hot comb, or whatever tool you're using, curling iron, is too hot. So you can definitely use heat. Just keep that in mind when you are styling your unit. So that is it for my silky styling tips. I'm going to insert a before and after picture so that you can see what the wig looked like before using these styling tips and what the wig looks like after using these very styling tips that I just gave you during the video. And if you like this style of videos and more wig content, we do drop these videos every Monday and Friday here over at Silky Sax. So please consider hitting that subscribe button and then hitting the bell to be notified whenever we drop a video. If you're watching over on Facebook, thank you. Go ahead and give us a like, and please return again for part 2 when we're going to be going over the Yaki textured styling tips and things that you can do to help you style your yakier textured wigs. If you like this video, then go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Let me know down in the comments below, do you use any of these styling tips to style your wigs, or if you use different tips or different things that you do to style your wigs, I would love to hear it. Please share it down in the comments below. Let's go ahead and have a conversation. As always, I want to say thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Okay, I hope this turned out good, because all that talking, I hope it made sense. It felt like I'm just rambling all over the place.